Dear friends, brothers, sisters, Chicago. On the 9th of August 2021, the International Panel on Climate released its report, Code Red for Planet Earth. Add to that the roughly 1 billion people suffering from serious food insecurities, while at the same time obesity has become a serious public health risk in the developed world. War in Ukraine, Sudan, the cost of living crisis, energy shortages, ocean rise and biodiversity collapse, not to mention the constant pressures from forest fires. Well, you know that well, I'm guessing, after what happened in Canada. Yeah? But who am I to tell you about forest fires? And we all know the problems too well. And if this was a movie, right now Superman would appear on the horizon. Maybe to save us from destruction. But this is not a movie. And Superman is not coming. So we must save ourselves. We must save ourselves and we must save each other. Because if there is one thing that is clear, it's that we are all in the same boat. Some people sit on the top deck, some people sit on the bottom. But the water temperature is going to be the same for everybody. So how can we save ourselves? And how can we save each other? And how can we be heroes of a sustainable future? Before I go on, it's great to see so many people having turned out for such an important issue. My name is Knut Moestue. As said, I am the Director of Sustainable Food Systems for UN Global Compact Norway. I'm very happy to visit Chicago again. Lovely weather you have brought this time. Wasn't like that last time, but I have truly enjoyed it, and also seeing parts of your wonderful city and seeing how important food is to the city. And my hope is that the city will become even more important to food. Yeah? So I have been asked to give an introduction to today's subject, and I once did a course on how to do public speaking. You'll see if I did well. But they told me you should only leave people with one main idea. And that main idea I want to introduce to you today is a concept called transition thinking. Okay? So what is transition thinking? It is the third step in the evolution of sustainability thinking. So it's based on the concept that we are all in this together. That we are not only in this for ourselves. That we are not the culprits, but we are the responsible for turning things around. I cannot lift my hands and say I didn't do it, because it is my responsibility, and it's your responsibility. The thing is that we have to engage on all levels to ensure that there is a triple bottom line. And when we look at how this started, it started with good intentions in the early 2000s, where some global investors said, we're pulling out of coal. We're divesting from coal. The problem we saw was that it's not enough to not do harm. We also have to do good. So they started investing in ESG projects. Yeah? So all this money we pulled, all the good money, to put it in a way, pulled out of coal and started investing in sustainable projects. The problem with that was that when all the good money pulled out of coal, and not all the good money, of course, coal stocks became cheap. And we have more coal today than we had in the early 2000s when the money pulled out. Because the money that did not care about ESG came in. And not only that, but there were not enough sustainable projects to absorb the divestment of capital. So then we introduced the third term. We cannot just divest. We have to take responsibility not only for ourselves, but for others, and in the business sense, this means for our supply chain. It means that we have to help, through some transition thinking, our supply chain, our suppliers, our customers, to not only set ambitious goals to deliver on sustainability targets, but actually engage with them and help them reach those goals. Be it climate accords and Paris Agreement, be it biodiversity, now with the Montreal Agreement, or be it on food waste. We cannot leave the responsibility to somebody else. It has to be me and you. So, with this third step, we need to create a system where we are all responsible. We have to give our providers, our customers, our suppliers, the opportunity to become compliant. It does not help us if I set strict demands to my suppliers if they cannot deliver. Then they're going to go somewhere else. But we have to actually help them with those requirements. This could be giving them a contract to a company, a small company, a startup maybe, that is non-compliant today, but with the promise of the investment of helping them become compliant. And as long as they do it before delivery, it should be fine. So then we build strong and resilient supply chains, and we actually help create jobs. But to do this, we need a couple of things in place. First, we need digital systems with technological tools that can communicate through the whole supply chain. Transparency. This system must allow us to share data even between competitors without revealing trade secrets. That might sound like a lot, but that's the easy part. The hardest, but the most important part is trust. Trust that the data we share is real, is honest, transparent. And then once we have the data, it will not be misused. And trust that the people, in other words, the workers, the farmers, will get the sufficient training and tools to manage these new demands. The transition must be inclusive. And it's important that these people, the farmers, the workers, also share in the benefits of this new system. These advances must benefit all. What we call a just transition. The problem with trust is that it's hard. Well, it's easy to lose, but it's hard to build. And it is only built and strengthened through transparency and collaboration. I was going to give you an example, but I see that I have overstayed my time, I think, a bit. And my lovely panel is waiting there. But now that you're a captive audience, I will read from my book. No. But I think that if we can get back to the message I'm trying to convey here. The message I'm trying to convey is that we can no longer look at divestment. We can no longer look at leaving anybody behind. The future has to be sustainable and just and inclusive. And it is my responsibility and it is yours. So my hope is that all of you will be the superheroes of the sustainable future. Put on a cape, preach the gospel, and continue the conversation about shared responsibility. Say, it's not my fault, but it is my responsibility. So, with that, I want to invite today's heroes up to the, yeah. Thank you, everybody.